Hi all, Renee here. I am here today to show you what I made from the, what's it called? Celebrate Spring, February 2026 paper pumpkin. If you've never seen paper pumpkin before, they do come in these boxes and they contain every single thing you need to make the cards or whatever the project is. It's usually cards, but it gives you everything you need. It gives you your stamp set. Here's the stamp set for this particular one. Really, really cute, Easter themed. It gives you a ink spot. Shy Shamrock was the one for this month, which I didn't already have, so I was really happy to get that. You also get, in your very first kit, you get a stamping block. And do I have one? Yes. Nope, I do not have one available and right in front of me. Sorry about that. It is a smaller stamp block, so it doesn't take up a lot of room. You also get all of your adhesive, any ribbon or twine, other embellishments such as sequins or bling, whatever it is that you need, you get in the box. You also get all your instructions that are very, very easy to follow. That's the whole instructions. You get a measuring tape along the edge, so you don't even have to worry about that. And you can purchase some additional items, such as this die set that coordinates with not only this kit, but two others. So the whole quarter is covered by one die. I did not get that this time around. So you also get all your envelopes that you need. And usually, if you've watched me before, you know I cut up envelopes and then use them to make more cards. I decided just to leave the envelopes alone. Really, all there is this little flap, and all the rest is white. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to leave the envelopes alone. There's not a lot there for me to work with. I could have created some cards from this flap, but just decided against it. So what I did do is I made each of the cards. It makes 9 cards, 3 each of 3 different kinds. And I made those exactly as they are described in the instructions. So there's one, here's another, and here's the third. Really, really fun cards to put together. Very, very easy to do, and love the way they all came out. Now, what I always do with my card bases is I cut them in half, and then I just adhere the cards. Let me find one that's a little darker. That'll be easier for you to see. I cut my card bases in half and then adhere them to just plain white card bases. That way I get at least twice as many cards from the kit as it says it originally makes. So I made 18 cards. So let me show you the cards that I made from the other half of these card bases. Now, I will tell you, this was a little bit of a different experience because the card bases were just a solid color. So I did have to work a little bit harder and bring in some paper. And I thought, okay, let's see how we can do this using this new Painted Illusions. This is the February product of the month. If it's still available, I would suggest getting it. It is a beautiful paper suite, and it's $5 if you spend $75 or more. Unfortunately, you can only buy one. I do miss that, the stamp of the month from close to my heart. You could buy, if you spend $150, you could buy 2 of them. And I loved doing that and then giving my aunt one of the stamp sets. But can't do that anymore. You can only buy 1 of each product of the month. However, it does hang around until they're all sold out. So you could get lucky if you go on right now and see if that one's still available. I highly recommend it. So let me show you the papers as I use them in the cards. All the cards have a similar design. I took the card base and I die cut the card base with a rectangle die, and then I die cut the designer paper with a smaller rectangle die, and ended up with this layered look, but it's all from just 2 sheets of paper. So behind these is just blank space, but you would never know because I glued them onto a card base, so you'll never know. This particular banner and these 2 eggs were left over from the paper pumpkin kit, and then I used the Happy Easter on the stamp set that was included to make Happy Easter. This cute little dragonfly came from the Sweet Bugs die set, in the die set, they have this one die that cuts out a butterfly, a snail, and a dragonfly. Now, I use the butterfly and the snail, and I'll show you those in just a moment, but I use the dragonfly on this one, and then the little ribbon behind here is just some ribbon from my stash. I just grabbed my ribbon from my stash. Actually, let me show you how I store a lot of my small pieces of ribbon that I have left over. Now, the only problem with doing it this way is the majority of the time, I don't know where these ribbons came from. But let me open it so it's not quite so. This is one of those floss keepers. I don't keep my floss like this, but my mother-in-law did. So when I took over her collection of goodies, I went ahead and incorporated her floss into how I organize my floss. And then I had this little box left with all of these little, I think they're called bobbins, all these little bobbins left that are made for floss. Well, I thought, you know what? I bet this would work for all kinds of ribbon, because I had all kinds of rolls of ribbon that took up a lot of space, but I didn't have that much ribbon on each one. So I rolled them on here, and that's how I keep them in here. It's kind of a mess right now. I wasn't expecting to show it to you, but here you go. That's how I keep all my extra little bits and bobs of ribbon. So that's what I used on here. So that's how this card came out. So there's one. Then I did two more with kind of a similar design. And these mushrooms, the butterfly and the snail, came from this die set. The mushroom pieces are, let me just pull the dies out and I'll show you. The mushroom pieces are these right here, and then their caps are right here. And then here's that one I told you has the butterfly, the snail, and the dragonfly. And I love the way that these, I'm going to put that off to the side. I love the way that these turned out. Oh, and the happy birthday was actually from the March 2025 paper pumpkin. I keep all of these in, what they are for their sheet protectors for baseball cards. So there's 9 where you would slip in your baseball cards to keep them protected. Well, these fit perfectly if you cut down the paper just a little bit. The stamp sets themselves fit perfectly. You just have to cut down the paper just a little bit to put it in there. And I just keep them in month order. And then when I'm looking for something, I just flip through it. I don't put these particular stamps in my Apple Notes where I keep all of my stamp inventory. I just don't do it. I just flip through these. And if I don't find what I need, then I'll go to my stamp inventory and search for a stamp that might work for what I'm looking for. But then I also used the Spotlight on Nature dies, this die set. I cannot recommend it enough. This thing is awesome. And I cut out, because it felt like my mushrooms were just like floating in midair. So I cut a piece of vellum. Hopefully you can see that vellum. I cut a piece of vellum and put my mushrooms on it. And then that's how I stuck them down. And I think they turned out really nice. I did use a little bit of pecan pie ink, and I inked around the edges of both of my mushroom pieces, just to give them a little bit of a weathered look. And I think they turned out cute. I like them. Then I have several that are going to be very similar, so I'll just show them to you real quick and tell you where I got the pieces. So this birthday wishes came from the 12 Days of Crafting Advent Calendar stamp set that comes with the Crafting Advent Calendar. And so that's where that came from. And then this piece of ribbon, I think, is American Crafts. I think I got it at Tuesday Morning years ago in a whole variety pack. But I just love the way that it matched this paper so well. And using your stash is great. Get rid of your stash. So this one is a similar design, used a different ribbon in the background. Same with that 12 Days of Crafting Advent Calendar stamp is what I used for this one. Then the Circle Birthday Wishes. Circle Birthday Wishes, where are you from? Oh, that is from a kit that I have not shown you that I've put together. Let me grab the stamp set for that one. And that was it this one? No, it is one that I think I have shown you. I think it's called Birthday birthday greetings or something like that. Anyway, I don't know where the stamp is. Should have known. I put it away, and now I don't know where I put it. So anyway, that's what that is, and it's the Spotlight on Nature die circle. Love how that one came out. This one is from Unbounded Love, which is a retired stamp set. Actually is my very first stamp set I ever bought from Stampin' Up. And it has a die set that I also bought with it. So this is the die that I used, and then this hello is the stamp that I used. And then just some ribbon from my stash. And what I did for this one, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see the dimension that I gave it. What I did on this one was I put a dimensional behind the middle of hello, and then I used just some glue on each side so it creates like a little hill for the sentiment. And I really like that additional, it's a simple card, but I like how that additional dimension gives it some interest. Then here is this one. Again, that American Crafts ribbon, Spotlight on Nature dies, that birthday wishes stamp from that I think it's birthday greetings kit. Oh, I can't believe I forgot what the name of it is. And this one is very, very similar ribbon. This is actually some old Close to My Heart ribbon. I love that the Close to My Heart colors are pretty similar to the Stampin' Up colors. Because the back of this solid color cardstock that I use for the back of the Birthday Wishes sentiment circle is actually Lost Lagoon or Pretty in Pink, Pretty Peacock. Yes, Pretty Peacock. And then this ribbon was from Close to My Heart, and it is almost an exact match for Pretty Peacock. So I still have a little bit of that ribbon left, so you can bet I'm going to be using it on some more cards where I've used Pretty Peacock because I love the way that they match. So that is everything that I made with this particular paper pumpkin. Again, I got 18 cards total. Didn't use any of the envelopes. I could have gotten another 9 cards if I would have used the envelopes, but I decided I'm going to use the envelopes because I'm going to mail all these Easter cards to my family. So family, if you're watching this and it's before Easter, I'm not sure if this will get posted before or after Easter. Sorry you get to see this online. Don't look, close your eyes. I should have probably said that in the beginning, huh? Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I'll be happy to answer them. And I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.